So let's talk about self-reflection, which is the first and really the key primary habit. Without self-reflection, the rest of these habits are going to be very difficult to develop because honestly, self-reflection is how you get better at anything. So let's just figure it out. What is self-reflection actually? Well, kind of as a definition is being able to honestly think about yourself and assess yourself and evaluate yourself. So what I mean by that is you should be able to tell yourself honestly what you're good at, what you are not so good at, why you react to things the way you do, to be able to look back on your behaviors and actions and try to be a little more objective, which means thinking about things in a way that isn't trying to be dishonest about what's going on. Now this is hugely important, but it's also very difficult, right? Because usually a lot of the times, like, we all think we're self-reflective, we think we're looking back on things, but we actually look back on them inaccurately. We're not so honest with ourselves. We might sometimes not be so honest with ourselves about what we're good at. Sometimes we don't see that and we need other people to point it out. Sometimes we're not so honest with ourselves about what we're not so good at and need to work on, and again, need other people to point it out. So self-reflection is the ability to really cut through that and see honestly, for good or for bad, the things we're doing, who we are, and what we do. So again, those strengths, those weaknesses, the pieces of our identity that make us who we are all part of self-reflection. So why is this important? Well, quite honestly, if you aren't honest with yourself, you cannot grow, period. Right? How do you know what you can work on or what you need to work on if you can't honestly self-reflect and know what to work on, right? Like if I'm lying to myself and I think I'm good at everything, I'm actually not going to grow very much because I won't work hard enough or I won't know what to work on. On the same hand, if I am not honest with myself and I don't know what I'm good at, right? If I always kind of pick on myself and act like I'm really bad at everything, then again, I'm not really going to grow because it's going to hold me back. It's not going to have me working on the right things. So self-reflection is the most important starting place when it comes to growing and getting better at anything. So a couple tips for how to self-reflect. Obviously, we're going to be doing a lot of practice with this, so you'll get a lot of chance. And in fact, most of the time in this class, when you're doing anything, it'll be some form of self-reflection will be involved. But couple steps if you want to make sure that you're self-reflecting. You can ask yourself why you do the things you do. So after something happens, you just ask yourself that question, why did I do that? Right? And then try to honestly answer it. Also, ask yourself what you're not good at yet. Right? It's really important and it's really hard, right? Think about, okay, am I really that good at that? If there's something that you think you are good at, be like, what part of this thing is maybe not something that I'm really good at yet? What is something I should work on? And again, being very honest in your answer. And again, right, our last thing is answering those questions honestly. That's the most important part. I could say it a million times, right? You've probably heard me say honestly, 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 being honest, right? That's what it comes down to. A lot of us, again, can ask ourselves these questions, which are really important to self-reflection, but if we aren't answering those questions honestly, then we're not actually being self-reflective. So good luck with this one. Answer the questions that go with it and really think to yourself, how do I start getting a little more honest with myself? How do I make sure I regularly ask myself these questions and take the time to self-reflect so that I can start making this skill into a habit?